Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us, and welcome to Natterbox's Service Cloud Voice Masterclass webinar. We're really excited today to show you how Service Cloud Voice and AI powered by Natterbox can greatly enhance the experience of your customers, your agents, and even your supervisors as well. Now, for those that don't know me, my name is James Reeve, and I'm a solution engineer at Natterbox, and I've been with the business for just over 8 years. Now, I'm your host today, and I'll be running the webinar. So, what's the purpose of this webinar? Well, earlier this month at Salesforce London World Tour, we had an incredible turnout and received fantastic feedback from our hosted talk. And so we wanted to run through this again, giving everyone the chance to see it. Now, as well as this, the focus of today is around customer experience and how today's customers demand a fast, consistent, and personalized interaction every time that they engage with a company. And this is only going to increase with the introduction of AI. And we can see that from a quote taken directly from an EVP at Salesforce here. Now, Salesforce recently released their 6th edition of their State of Service. And out of all of the orgs that they surveyed, they established that these are the top 5 challenges each one is facing. Again, with keeping up with the customer expectations being the #1 challenge that each are facing. And there's a little bit of a reason behind that. And the key element here is that manual tasks are pulling agents directly away from customers. So here, Salesforce were able to establish that across an average week, an agent was spending only 39% of their time actually working with customers. That means 61% of their time was spent doing admin tasks, manually entering in case notes, having to pivot between screens to figure out what they need to do next. And essentially, that's what organizations are looking towards AI and automation for. So really being able to take away some of those medial tasks from the agents and actually letting them focus on that customer's experience. Salesforce established that 83% of customers surveyed, the decision makers do plan to increase investments in AI automation over the next year or so. And so with that in mind, Natterbox actually came up with sort of 3 applications that we can bring to really guide our customers and provide them a better experience. So firstly, looking at how we can automate recommendations. So providing those real-time recommendations to agents as they're interacting with your customers. Automate agent activities. So this can be things like providing instant call summaries for every single conversation that takes place. And finally, how we can automate analysis and trends. So things like automatic call ratings based on prompts that you set within the system. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look at a customer scenario for this webinar. Everyone, please meet Jane. Now, Jane is going to the Maldives and she's ordered some new clothes to take with her. However, when they arrive, she's noticed that one of the dresses has a stain on it. Now, Jane's a big fan of this dress. She absolutely wants to take it. And she's due to leave for the Maldives in 3 days. So what should Jane do? Well, Jane decides to call into our business to actually speak to someone to figure out what the next best thing to do would be. So for this, I'm now just going to move over into Salesforce. So as an agent, I'm logged into my computer, I'm available for voice, and I can now see that Jane is calling me. Now, as the agent, I've got all the information in front of me. I know it's Jane Parker. I know that it's about a 40 item, and I know that this is a priority call. So once I go ahead and answer Jane's call, I can greet Jane more personally. So it's going to give her that sort of better experience. Oh, hi, Jane, you're through to James. I can see that you're calling about a 40 item. Let's go ahead and take care of this for you. Now, while I'm on the call, a brand new case has been created for me, ready to begin working from straight away. And as well as that, we can also see on the bottom left-hand corner, a live transcript taking place. Again, that will be stored in Salesforce, so I can always look back on conversations that I've had previously with my customers. Now with this, I have my new case ready for me to begin working from, so I can start inputting that there's a stain on the dress. And then based on this, I can now start to gather some more information from Jane. So I can start to ask certain questions based around, exactly what I need to know. But as well as that, actually, instead of the agent having to remember everything that they need to ask, let's get the system telling me what I need to do. So here, for example, integrating everything with Next Best Action, I know that I now need to gather some further information. With this, I can go ahead and select that I need a little bit of assistance in knowing what I'm going to be doing. And that can then provide me different tools in knowing exactly what I'm going to be saying throughout the entire conversation. So as part of this, it can basically explain to me that, do you know what? Actually, I need to see what the issue is. I need to understand what's going on here. So this is where I can actually now introduce other forms of communication into the chat to really give the best experience for Jane. So in this use case, I'm just going to say to Jane, oh, actually, I understand that there's a fault. I understand that there's a stain on the dress. So actually, why don't we go ahead, let's jump on a quick video call. I'm going to send you a text with the link to that call so you can see everything. And then that way I can take a screenshot. We can document this entire process and everything's tracked and everything's good. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start my live call. Again, everything's on my one single page. I don't need to pivot to another screen. I don't need to pivot elsewhere inside of Salesforce. Everything here is right in front of me. So I've copied the video call invite, and I'm now going to say to Jane, hi Jane, I'm just going to send you a quick text message with the link to the invite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my number it's going to send from, and I'm going to confirm which of Jane's numbers she wants me to text that to. So once that loads, I can send through that link. And now once that's sent, as we can see highlighted here, I can go back into my video call and I'm going to join that session. So it should only take a few seconds to load up, and we can see that instantly coming through there. And now I can go ahead and join that video call. So this now means that my text has been sent out to Jane. Jane has now joined this call, and there we go. We can see that we've got a horrible stain on that dress. And yes, something absolutely needs to be done about it. Now with this as well, I can go ahead, I can pin everything, and I can actually take a snapshot. So I'm tracking everything inside of Salesforce. I don't need Jane to send me a picture from her mobile or have to try and upload it onto her computer to send me an email. I can just take a brief snapshot, and I can even go ahead and highlight exactly whereabouts in the screenshot that we've got that issue, and I can upload that to my case. So it's all about making sure that everything is correctly tracked inside of Salesforce as well. And I'm gathering all of that relevant information related to Jane's problem. So there we go. I've managed to gather all of the information that I need. So now we're on to the next steps of that conversation. And this is where from Next Best Action, it's recommended to me that I can go ahead and I've got two options. The first one that we have is I can offer Jane a refund. Now, with this as well, with the solution, we can actually automatically flag to, for example, supervisors based on keywords or things that have been discussed during a call. So I've said the words to Jane that we can offer a refund, and that has automatically flagged to my supervisor that maybe this is a conversation you want to keep an eye out for. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hang up on my video call, and I'm going to move into the position of omni-supervisor. So I'm putting on my supervisor hat here. And this, as a supervisor, is where I can see all of my agents and what they're currently working on. So I can see that we've got two agents. James is currently on a voice call at 100% capacity. I know that James is speaking with Jane Parker. I know that the issue is around a faulty item. And I've even got that alert notification to flag to me that refund requested has been said on the call. So it's instantly making me as a supervisor aware that this is important. I need to be aware of what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor this call. And this is where I can see everything that's being said within the conversation. So having access to that live transcript, I can even go ahead, and if I wanted to, I could say a message back to my agent. So let's say don't offer refund, offer replacement. So that message then comes through to me as the agent. You know, I've got my supervisor guiding me throughout the conversation as well, as they've got access to exactly what's being discussed throughout the conversation. So that's going to be my second option, the ability to offer Jane that replacement. Jane's obviously going away in 3 days' time, so we're going to have to ask DPD to send a very speedy, fast-track delivery, but that's what Jane wants, and that's what we're going to do. So with this, again, all within my voice call page, I'm going to go ahead and start to update my case. So I can say we're going to aim to have this delivered tomorrow. Jane has chosen replacement. So we can save that, and we've got all of our information directly in front of us. So Jane's happy. I've been able to be guided throughout the conversation, and everything has worked out as expected. So now I can go, oh, thank you very much, Jane. I hope I've been able to sort your issue out. Let's hopefully not speak again soon. No more issues. Perfect. So I can go ahead, end my call there. And now inside of my voice call record, I can basically choose whether or not I'm able to start receiving more work. Do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and click on all done, because I don't need to add any more information. The system has automatically added in a generative AI call summary for me. So it's saving me some of those tasks. I don't have to input everything. The system is automatically doing it on my behalf, so a supervisor can read this. Now, as well as that, we're going to just move back over to Omni Supervisor to go a little bit around from a reporting and dashboard perspective. So we've been able to see that we've got our instant AI call summaries accessed through voice call records, or can be stored wherever you need to see them inside of Salesforce. We can simply use flows to place them wherever a supervisor needs access to them. But as well as that, we can also look to understand trend overviews. So we can look at things like agent productivity, after sales queries, even elements around that CSAT score based on a post-call survey. So really starting to analyze the trends taking place within business. From a service perspective, we're going to be providing data around your inbound and outbound call usage, and even the different forms of customer communication. So understanding, do your customers prefer to have a phone call? Do they prefer email? Do they prefer SMS communication? Really gathering all of that data behind the call. And then the next is around automatic call ratings. So actually, how we can configure the system to automatically assign a rating between 1 and 10 based on prompts that you set within the system. So what we have here is a way of telling AI to basically rate our call for different prompts available. So I've got a prompt set up for customer experience, for empathy score, even just rating my agent's calls based on how polite they are to a customer. And it's not just a case of going, I would like this to be rated between 1 and 10 based on politeness. It would be, I want to rate this between 1 and 10 on politeness. I want to know, how did my agent greet the customer correctly? Did they sound polite throughout the conversation? Did they end the call and understand the issue that the customer had throughout, and really guide them to get a complete resolution that makes the customer happy? So inputting all the criteria that you require to get an accurate rating. And then from that, we can actually start to build out proper reports and dashboards based on that information. So here is an example. We can look at all of those different prompts and realize who is better performing within the business. So we could look at things like that customer experience again. So understanding what the average rating for each member of our team is scoring based on that customer experience. Now, as well as getting that instant rating, what we're also going to be able to do is provide a reason behind it. So you get the rating between 1 and 10, but for every single call, AI is also going to give you the logic and reasoning behind actually giving it that rating as well. So you're not in the dark, you have full understanding for each rating that has been provided. So what have we gone through today? So we've gone through sort of 3 key elements here. So our first one is how, with a seamless omni-channel experience across voice, SMS, and video, we can gather as much intel from customers as possible and provide them a better experience. So when Jane called in, we were able to recognize that it was Jane, understand what Jane's issue was, and we were able to handle it more appropriately through different forms of communication. We were able to provide proactive real-time support. So using Next Best Action, as an agent, I was recommended what the next best thing to do would be. And we're also able to take a look at post-call analysis and AI call coaching. So the ability for calls to be instantly summarized with that short summary stored wherever an admin or a manager needs to see it in Salesforce, but also having calls instantly rated between 1 and 10 based on criteria that you set within the system. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. My name has been James Reeve. If you do have any further questions, or if you'd like to learn more about our AI offerings or Service Cloud Voice, then do please feel free to reach out to us.